Hi everyone. We are ready to start our data structure session. In this particular video, we are going to learn different type of data structure. Like we have two different type of data structure. One is linear data structure, other is non-linear data structure. For an example, list is an example of linear data structure. In this particular video, we are going to learn about list, when to use list and when to not use the list. Let's discuss it. Uh, before understanding list, we need to understand the basic concept of array. What is array? Because it can happen that if you are from Java background, or if you are from C background, so basically we start our concept with array. Okay, so what is array and what is a list? What is the basic difference between array and list? That we need to understand first. Okay, so in array, whatever the element we are going to assign to this array, the like all element will be the same type. Okay, what do you mean by this statement? If I'm saying one, so that means what? This is the array. Let me call it. If I'm saying this variable name is test, so test is an array and it is type of integer array. Okay, so all the value inside this array is an integer. It's not any string or something different. Okay, so data type of this array is same. Basically what I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain you, array is kind of things like where data type of each element will be the same. Okay, so basically this is not going to be different. But if you talk about list, data type, like it can contain different type of element. So now it's your choice when to use. Like for an example, so if you want to do element wise addition or subtraction, okay, multiplication, so go with array data structure. And if you have some different application, okay, so go with the list or data structure. Now you can ask that why we are studying all this data structure, what is the use of all it? So basically all data structure come with some operation. Okay, so whenever we implement any code or whenever we implement any logic, we always think that what are the operation we are going to perform on top of this data structure. We are going to delete some element from that data structure, or we are going to add some element into that data structure. So if you are adding something, so how much time it's going to take? Okay, if you are deleting any element from the data structure, so how much time it will take? Okay, for an example I can explain you. Let's suppose there is a Aadhaar number. Okay, Aadhaar number you can consider as a unique number. So I'm going to store this. Okay, I'm going to store into one database. Okay, let's suppose this is a Aadhaar number, and with respect to the each Aadhaar number, there is a name of the person. Okay, so like this Aadhaar number belong to this person. So your job is like to implement a function in a such a way that you can retrieve the information of particular person within a second. Okay, are you getting my point? So here you need to implement a function or a search functionality where you can retrieve the data of particular person. Okay, so if I will type Rahul Tiwari, okay, this is my name. So with respect to Rahul Tiwari, you'll get the my Aadhaar number. So how it is possible? Okay, so what kind of data structure we can use it so that our functionality or our process can be fast. So this whenever we implement this kind of stuff, we always think about data structure. Okay, so like if you take the list, okay, so you are storing one Aadhaar number. Okay, uh, so I can explain like this: 1 2 3 4. So let's suppose this is the Aadhaar number 1 2 3 4 5 6 is the Aadhaar number, and if I'm saying that I need to search where is 6. Okay, let's suppose I'm trying to find out the index. Okay, so 0 index, 2 index, 3 4 5. So here to retrieve the Aadhaar 6, I need to iterate my loop 6 times. Okay, so it is taking time, okay, to retrieve the data. So now you can see here, like if you want to search something, okay, so list is not a good uh, it's not a good data structure in this case. So what kind of data structure we can use it? So for that reason we are designing this course. So you will learn like when to use which kind of data structure. Okay, let's move to our discussion. We're discussing about a list. Okay, so list basically is, you can think like it contain different it can contain different kind of values. For an example, in list, float will be there, string can be there, okay, integer can be there. Okay, so just a minute. So there is a lots of example of linear data structure. For example, array is a data structure which is example of linear data structure. Stack, queue, and linked list. So if are coming from the C background or Java background, so you probably heard about the linked list. Okay, so basically in uh, Python we are using list itself. So its list is kind of dynamic array. Okay, so if you remember in the C programming, so whenever you define a list, you define the size also. Okay, so if the size will be fully like what is the concept behind it? Like uh, if you decide some size, okay, so it will be remains same throughout the program. Okay, but this is not going to happen into Python. Okay, in the Python list is a dynamic one. Okay, so it can grow and grow. So like this is not going to be something like you have to reinitialize the list and then, are you getting my point? Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let's come to the our discussion. Okay, so what is a list? So basically the general purpose data structure, okay, which which allow you duplicate members also. Okay, for an example, you can see this is a example of list, and now here, so you can see 1 2 3, and then this is an integer. Okay, and we have string here also. Okay, and then and this list contain list also. Okay, so this is a implementation into the Python one. So how you implement into Python is very simple. Okay, so just go to the your editor and just a minute, let me restart my kernel. Okay, so here we can implement it. So how to define list? So let's suppose if I'm to so use this bracket, and let's suppose 1 2 and 3 and then 4, let me write anything. So now see, this is 1 2, this is a list. So you can let me assign one variable. So t is my one variable. Now you can check the type of this variable. So to check the type, there is an inbuilt function in Python called type. So by using this, you can get the list one. Okay, and now you can put something called uh, a. Okay, so nothing going to happen, like Python will not complain anything, because this is a list, and we know that in the list like it can contain heterogeneous data. Okay, so like it could be integer, float, or whatever data you want to put. So for an example, you want to put something like this, that will also going to happen here. Okay, so you can print it, so you can see the output also. Okay, okay, so now this is a way, but this is not going to happen into array. Okay, so if you're declaring a variable as an array, okay, so array will be of some type. Okay, so if I'm saying that array is type of integer, so the array will contain only integer. Okay, so if you will assign some, if you put some value as a float, this is not like your Python will complain that you cannot do it like this. Okay, so hopefully you're getting my point. Okay, here you can see we can also, this is a way we can define empty list. Okay, so list method, if you write list, and so here I'm right, if I'm assigning the value x, so if I will print it x, so I will get the empty list. Okay, and you know that as when I started my videos, I told you that whatever data structure we have, each data structure is associated with some operation. Okay, like addition operation, multiplication operation. Okay, are you getting my point? Basically, basically, we are learning data structure just to understand like what kind of operation we can perform on top of it. Okay, so there is something called tuple also, so I will explain later. But before that, so what are the operation we can perform on the list? So on the list we can perform delete operation, append operation, extend operation, insert operation, pop operation, remove operation, reverse operation, sort operation. Okay, so uh, what do you mean by all these things? Let's suppose there is a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this is a real application. So if someone will say that remove product ID 2, okay, so someone will say remove this one. So how to remove it? Okay, so are you getting my point? So it's depend, like if you have data structure list, so you have to use the method, remove method. Okay, so you also need to specify like which ID you are going to remove it. Okay, I hope I'm making some sense. Okay, for an example, there is a list 5386 and index 1 I want to delete it, so it will delete index 1. Okay, for an example, if you implement it, so like there, if I will implement, if I will if I will use delete, so delete is a inbuilt function of Python. Okay, so if I will take my list and I will say that I want to remove location 1, and then I will print it. See here, you can see there is 2 is not available. So before deleting the element from that list, 2 was available, but after deleting that element, now 2 is not available. Okay, so are you getting my point? So this is very useful operation. Okay, so whenever you are building any real world application, okay, e-commerce application, okay, and you want to remove something permanently, so you need to understand. Okay, so these are the operation which will help you to understand this. Okay, so if you do like this, okay, if you're not specifying the index, okay, like at which index you are going to remove the element, and you're directly writing delete, and then you are passing your list, in this case it will remove the complete element. Okay, okay, so for an example here, if I will say, so instead of saying this is my function del, and on top of del is a function. Okay, so delete is a function which is inbuilt function of Python. I'm not passing anything, okay, like which index I'm going to delete. So if like my Python is not understanding like which index you want to delete, so it's very smart. Okay, he will delete everything. So now see, if you print it, okay, so now you can see it's completely deleted, so this is not available. Okay, list gets deleted, so that means what, element is not there. Okay, so list is also deleted, huh? That's the reason we are not able to get the, now my Python is saying that name t is not defined. Hope so you are getting my point, because it's deleted completely from the memory. Okay, so we can also perform operation of append. Okay, let's suppose this is a, so append method, how it's working. So here, this is our list and ix dot, so append method is only working on list 1. Okay, so now what is the difference between del and append now? So del was a method, that is an inbuilt method, and del was taking as an input. What input? Del was taking input as a your list. Okay, but append method you are applying on your list. So this is your x is your list, and here you are applying the append, and you are passing like what value you want to append in your list. Okay, so if you want to append 12, so now if you print it, see, you are getting 12. So I hope you are getting my point. Okay. Okay, so you can also use extend. So when to use extend, so it's like when you have two lists and you want to add so this is very simple interview question they can ask. So we have x and y. Okay, so this is my one list, other is other list. So what we're doing basically, so we are just adding this, like we are just extending this list. Okay, so instead of keeping into two different lists, we are just converting into one single list. How we can perform it? By using the extend operation. Okay. So there is something called append method. So what's happening in the append method? And the append method, you are able to only append at the end of the list. Okay. So, okay, like in the last example you saw, like we are adding 12 and we added at the end of the list. So what if we want to add some element at particular location? How we can do it? So there is something called insert operation. So to add an element or item at a specified index, we use the insert method. Okay, so this is our list, and on the top of this list we are saying that at location 2 we want to add 10. Okay, so what is the signature of this method? We specify, like, this is our method insert name. Insert is a method which is applying, we are on array, sorry, list, and we are passing two parameters. What will be the index, and other will be the what element we are going to insert it. Okay, see here, this is another example. Okay, so you can write this code into your Python and you can do the experiment. Just to save the time, I'm not going to implement it. Okay, so hopefully you are getting my point. So one thing I will share with you what I do whenever I start implementing any logic or code. So if I have some data and I want to store somewhere. Okay, so I need to decide like what kind of data structure I'm going to use. Okay, so basically I decide based on the operation. Okay, what are the operation I'm going to perform on top of that data. Okay, so if there is some addition operation, basically search operation, or delete operation. Okay, so based on that, I think, and then I select the data structure. Okay. um, so what is a pop method? So pop method remove the specified index. Okay, so if you are not specifying the index, okay, for an example, so this is a list. You declare 1 2 10 4 6 7, and in this list, like, you are applying the pop method, but you are not specifying that at what location, at like which index we need to remove it. So in this case, it directly taking the element 7. Okay, okay, because this is the last element. Okay, for an example, here we are passing, like, we want to remove this element. Okay, so okay, I hope you are getting my point. So there is a very basic difference between pop and remove method. You can observe over here. Basically, it's very genuine actually. Uh, you can remove something by using index, or you can use something using by direct element. Uh, okay, so how this thing, like, how, I can give you a real world example. Let's suppose you're implementing a method. Okay, so basically that method is doing one simple task, like delete. Okay, that method doing, like, it's deleting something, okay, from database. So I don't know, like, what will be the exact match to delete some, like, I don't know the condition, but I know that if index, okay, if I'm able to get that index or the exact element. Are you getting my point? Let me explain you. So let's suppose there is a list, and this is an element. Okay, this is an element. Okay, okay, and we have an index. So what I'm doing, if I can get the index. Okay, so if I'm able to get the index, so in that, if I'm able to get the index, I will use pop method. Okay, if I'm not able to get the index, what I will do, I will direct compare with my element. Okay, so in the element case, I'm using the remove method. Okay, sorry. Okay, I hope we are making some sense. Sort is again a method which we frequently use whenever we implement code. Okay, so here you can see, uh, sort, we can sort the element in the ascending order. Like here you see sort, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so This method is like very useful whenever we implement anything. Okay. uh, slicing is again mm, like, see, there is lots of method into list. Okay, so you cannot remember all the method. So how you can be master in this particular things? Personally, what I do, I understand the concept, I understand the fundamental behind it, basically how it work internally. Once I understood, okay, this work like this, so I never go into like, I never try to remember all this thing, because I have a Google, I can search it and then I can implement it. For an example, I know that what is sort method. So sort method we apply only on list, and then what sort method will take, what are the like, this method will take different type of input, what input it will take, that thing I basically Google it and then I understand it. So here, like slicing method. So slicing method we use to slice the list things. For an example, there is a computer, and this computer is again the storing into the list. So each character here, C, O, M, P, U, T. So this is going to be the complete list. So if we only want to print last 4 element or 3 element or 2 element, whatever you want to do, or you want to skip a couple of element and then you want to print like this. Okay. So basically, if you're a fresher, okay, and if you are going for any interview or you're going for any coding round, so these are the very common things they ask. Okay, so what they will say, what they will give you one list, and they will say that uh, print the last 4 element, uh, print alternate element. Okay, print every third element. Are you getting my point? So in that scenario, slicing will help you to solve those kind of problem. Okay, so for an example here, computer. Okay, so in computer, so basically in the list it will be C, O, M. Let me just write it. Okay, so okay. So if I'm, so let me also write the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if I'm saying that 1 to 4, okay, so basically what we are drawing, so if I'm slicing 1 to 4, okay, so we know that this is start, this is the end, so it will be go here to here. So this will exclude the last one. Okay, so actually this will be start and this will be the end. So this is going to 0 to 3 only, or 1 to 3 only. So you are printing OMP. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you are getting my point. uh Now next one is we are slicing 162. What we're doing actually here, uh so this is syntax. Okay, so this is starting point, so we are starting with here, and this is like where we are going to stop it. So we are going to stop at 6. That means we are going to stop here. It's 5th. And then how many steps? Okay, like jumping kind of things. Okay, so we need to jump 2 elements. So the very first O, and then this we cannot take it because we have to jump first and second. So we will take this one P, and this we cannot take this. We will take this one OPT. Okay, so that's the reason we are getting OPT. So here's something called 3. So something starting with 3, and then this will, like, we are not mentioning where it will end, so it will go till last element of the list. Okay, so hopefully you are getting my point. Okay, now if you are saying -1, okay, so it will take last element of your list. Okay, for an example, just a minute. Okay, for an example, if you are saying -1, so this will like this. If you start reading your list from your right hand side, so this will go -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so if I'm saying -1, so it will print your R basically. And if I'm saying -3, and then I'm saying that, so it will start with the -3, and then this will go till your uh, sorry, this will go, I'm really sorry, this will go 3, -3 now, so this will go here, this side, -3 to till this thing. If I'm saying, see, this, okay, just see it here. In this case, it's starting with -2, this starting with minus, so this will start here. And because this colon sign is this side, so we will go from this to till this, because we don't know where we have to end it. Okay, so hopefully you are getting my point. Okay, so I think you understood the idea. Okay, so in this lecture, we are just ending here, but in the next one, we will go and we will implement this thing into the Python environment. So that will be like kind of hands-on session, and you can also practice along with me. So okay, so if you are advanced level programmer, so might be this lecture is not helpful for you, but in upcoming session when we start implementing the tree graph, okay, so that session can help you. But if you're a beginner and you want to learn these things from the scratch, you're welcome. Thanks for watching this videos. You'll